But now I'm not going to MC you through it, okay? Just listen to the music, listen to the movements that are called out, and just flow right through it. See if you can just go from movement to movement without breaking up the pace, okay? DJ man, come on, let's go. Let's go with it. All right. Are we starting? All right, come on. Yeah. All right. I like this. Lucky, falling from time to the local water. Take 1, 2, let's see what the body can do. Lucky, falling from time to the local water. Take 1, 2, let's see what the body can do. Come on, everybody, let's go. Your body, get dance. I can't. Everybody dance. Come on, everybody, your body, get dance.
When you use rhyme, you automatically build connections and relationships between words and concepts. Okay? When you do that, you create relevance. And whenever you have relevance, signals are automatically sent to your brain that say, this is important. Remember this. Okay? There's an association there. Then you have rhythm. Rhythm involves the body. Rhythm is when you take something auditory and you turn it into a kinesthetic sensation, or you turn it into an experience. It becomes something you feel. Now it's an emotional thing, you see? Music has the power to affect our heart rate, blood pressure, the thoughts that we think. You see what I'm saying? And that's why sometimes it's just so hard to get through to young people, because it just seems like they're just hypnotized by the TV and by the radio. Well, the TV and radio don't know what to do to get your attention. You see? And this works not just for young people, but for all of us. It's just that the younger you are, the more impressionable you are. You know, you're more easier to influence. Okay? So that's rhythm. It's powerful stuff. Then you have repetition. Now this is so obvious and we don't even pay attention to it, but it is a critical component of why radio and TV are so highly influential. Repetition, very simple. Whenever you see, hear, or do something over and over and over again, it becomes second nature, okay? Radio is notorious for being highly repetitive. And I know over the years, radio has killed some good music for me. Because it has taken songs that I absolutely loved in the beginning, and then I hated it because I heard it so much. Anybody had that experience? I mean, I don't know how many of y'all remember Magic 108?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I mean, now that's back when I was in my teens, and I know once again, I'm not going quite back as far as I might have given you all the impression. But back during that time, that's when I was in my teens, and I was listening to the top 88 and top 10 countdown. And, you know, I would just put my little cassette deck on and hit record and just let it roll. Because, you know, I just consumed that. I ate it up, you know. And I'm very passionate about music to this day. That's why I'm doing this. So, rhyme, rhythm, repetition, okay? Now, what you just heard from the counting CD, all three of those elements come together to form something powerful. And it engages your students on a level that the traditional teaching methods just can't do. Now, okay, so the number one skill that all of you in here must develop and master if you want to be successful and prosperous, not only in your academic life, but in your personal and professional life, is how to be a leader. So come on, everybody say leadership. Leadership. All right, now, look at your neighbor square in the eyes, point to yourself, and say, I am a leader. I am a leader. And now, look at your neighbor square in the eyes, point to them, and say it with the exact same conviction. You are a leader. See? That's right. So see, you know, leadership is actually closer to home than most people think. So now, I'm going to share some secrets with you all on how you can enhance that and do even better. All right? Now, the secrets, or secret, that I have decided to share with you all today is a little something that I have termed value-driven leadership. Everybody say values. Values. All right, value-driven leadership. Now what the heck is that? It's actually really simple. Value-driven leadership is nothing more than getting in touch with deeply held personal values as a means of motivating yourself or someone else to take action towards a very specific goal. Dwight Eisenhower said that leadership is all about getting someone else to do something that you want done because he or she wants to do it. I'll say that again. Leadership is about getting someone else to do something that you want done because he or she wants to do it. Okay? So, and what I want to make sure that everybody is clear on is that I am not talking about persuasion or exploitation. Okay? Because those methods are means that 9 times out of 10 you're going to be talking about win-lose propositions in which it's all about getting what you want at the cost of hurting other people. Okay, now that's not value-driven leadership. Value-driven leadership is always, and I repeat, always about the win-win. It's about getting what you want while simultaneously giving other people what they want. And see, when both sides are getting what they want, when there is a mutual benefit to be gained, see, it becomes much easier to get your teams organized, synchronized, and moving in the same direction. All right? Now look at your neighbor and say, I'm going to make you move. That's right. That's right. Somebody to come up and write the values down. Okay.
There we go.
All right. What's your name, young lady? Ramona. Pleasure to meet you. Everybody say thank you, Ramona.
Thank you, Ramona.
Right, yeah, she's going to she's going to write the values down as we go through this example. Now, here's the scenario. I know you all come from different schools, you're from all over the place, but for right now, we're going to pretend like we're all one organization, okay? And our responsibility as an organization is to come up with a new idea for a student orientation program, all right? Now, instead of going into the details of the program itself, we just want to deal with one thing so that everybody's energy is going in the same direction and it's all good, it's all positive. We want to ask ourselves, what is most important to us about creating this new orientation program? Okay? So, one example of that could be giving the best first impression of our school. That's what I would put. Go ahead. Yeah, you can abbreviate it if you want, so you don't have to write all that out. And now you all come up with ideas for values, because we're all one group now, okay? But that's mine. That's my contribution, so somebody else contribute something. All right, and now, anybody got an idea? Just raise your hand. Something else that would be really, really important about us creating a new student orientation program. Just think in terms of creating the best possible experience for the new students.
Entertainment.
That's all right. You know what I'm saying? Now, these are all, your handwriting looks great. Okay. Okay. These are all just the immediate examples. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to prioritize this. We want to fine tune it and knock it down to what is the tippity top most important thing. Now, here's how you do this. When you're in a group, you have to, get a show of hands. Everybody has to vote on whether or not something really is of value to the entire group. See, this is when everybody starts to develop that hive mind, okay? You got to think together. So, creating this new orientation program, out of the 4 things you see up here, somebody raise their hand and tell me which one they think would be the most important. Okay, we got 3 hands up. I'll take you.
I think the most important for the orientation group would be giving the best first impression. Because you want the students to come and stay.
All right. And now she said that, but now by a show of hands, how many agree with that? Okay. And then how many don't agree? I just got to see the hands. Okay, well then that means giving the best first impression is it. That's number 1. Okay. Now, like I said in the previous example, you take that, because it's the king of the hill right now. You got to go all the way down the list and compare it to the other ones, just to make sure. All right. That's right. Yeah. But now, in the interest of time, I only have the ability to show you one specific technique right now. I'll share it with the rest of you. It actually is very simple, and it begins with understanding your why factor. Everybody say the why factor. The why factor is very simply the reasoning behind what you do. It's the logic behind your actions, okay? And there's a very simple way to get in touch with your why factor. All you have to do is ask yourself one simple question. What is important to me about X? X representing whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve, okay? Your why factor, getting in touch with your values, basically operates as your internal GPS navigational system that gets you and those that you lead on track and helps you to stay on track. Everybody with me? Now, I'm going to show you what that looks like. Come on, get up on your feet again. You remember that which place north activity we just did? We're going to do it again, but this time it's going to look much different, I promise. Okay, now, for those of you who already knew, it's not going to be a big surprise, but for those of you who didn't know, north is actually in that direction. All right, so give yourselves a round of applause if you got it right. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is on the count of 3, we're all going to take our fingers and point in the direction of north. Count with me, come on. 1, 2, 3. All right, now look at the fingers. Look at the pointing, all in the same direction. You see that? If you see the difference, let me hear you say, I see it. I see it. And this is what value-driven leadership helps you to achieve. Cooperation, unity, harmony, and balance in your student organizations.